What's up, guys? It's your Super Playaz back again as your host Tony G, bringing you another Market Monday. And if you're new to the channel and you like these type of videos, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below if there are any cards that I might have missed for the next upcoming video. And I want to give a huge shout out to all the Super Playaz family out there. Thank you everyone for sending some love. My dad appreciates it, I'm pretty sure, and I greatly appreciate it myself. So thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Those comments were very heartwarming, and when the Super Play needs it, y'all sent the energy, you know, so I really appreciate that. So let's get into it. Just like in the title, it's a buy one get one free. Just kidding, but it's a huge discounted post holiday season. What are these prices for these cards? And I'm just talking about the SPRs because everybody wants to start a collection. I had people reach out to me on Facebook and even email saying, where do I start? How do I start collecting them? What's the best option? And right now Tony G is gonna give you the best options currently and what you should be doing right now, since everything is pretty much tanking in price. It's the perfect opportunity to get set from set 10 and on if you're trying to save money. But again, if you're trying to start from the very beginning to now, post after set 10, it's gonna cost a pretty penny for that. Obviously those are these cards right here that are relatively very expensive, but we're gonna dive deeper on some of these cards that are from prior sets that are worth getting right now because of the huge discount that there are and how much they've dropped in price. So like first one I'm gonna mention is Son Gohan and Son Goten Familial Bonds. This is from Assault of the Saiyans set 7, and these are cards that were sitting at like $13–14 and had like a 60% decrease over the past week and a half. And it was worth mentioning. Just like me, I already have it on my cart, so hopefully it doesn't sell out. And if you guys beat me to it, you guys are awesome. This is what these videos are for. So again, sitting at $7.58 being the cheapest, and it slowly creeps up. And of course, some have more shipping than others, but yeah, the most you'll pay for this card is probably anywhere between $7 to $8. And we saw a price decrease of 60% most likely at $11.99, and now it's at $7.58. So nearly half, almost half price, anywhere between 40 to 60%. You'll see some of these cards. And then we go on to the next one, is another card from the Assault of the Saiyans. These are some remarkable cards, very memorable from the anime, from Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball Z. And so you got some of these awesome artwork for these SPRs. Relatively cheap. Again, another card that was sitting at $15, now it's sitting at $5.68. So you're seeing a huge discount on a lot of these cards. Again, it's worth getting right now because it's not going to break the bank, and it's easy to start your collection, especially with the earlier sets that are very limited now and very hard to get. You're more likely to pull one of these or buy them rather than pull them spending money on a box. Better to buy them in singles. So relatively cheap, worth getting right now. Before, who knows if it's gonna skyrocket again. I know a lot of people are starting to discover Dragon Ball Super card game as well. We're getting more people collectors getting into the card game. So again, if you want to get it, it's definitely cheaper. And again, what I was mentioning, anything past set 10 and even newer sets like Dawn of the Legends, which is set 17, maybe 18, I don't know, but let me know. I think it was set 17 or 18. But we have SS4 Gogeta Indomitable Might. Again, this card was sitting at $9.50, and we're seeing a half price decrease, 50% off. Again, these are cards that were relatively expensive and slowly going down. So again, guys, definitely worth picking up some of these cards. They're pretty awesome. I think it's worth getting. Again, some of these cards are sitting at a relatively cheaper price than they originally started at last year. I think anywhere before December ending and beginning now of the year, it's definitely worth getting right now, and you're not going to break the bank too much. Like a lot of these Assault of the Saiyans from set 7, the box itself is relatively expensive. I'll post that right now. A booster box is like anywhere between $300 to $600, and you could get some of these cards for relatively cheap, $17.50. Or if you're just trying to build your collection and you want to risk it with a lightly played one, you're going to spend $10. I personally am getting the lightly played because, again, I'm not getting these graded. So this is just for my personal collection. So again, if you want something to save money and you just want to start a collection, I think lightly played is a really good alternative. It's just a little riskier how lightly played is lightly played. But again, it's relatively worth it in my opinion. If you want to just pay a little bit more extra money, maybe $6 more, you get a near mint. But again, some of these were relatively expensive, $23 for a near mint, and now it's sitting at 17. So it's still a pretty good discount. $6-7 is not bad compared to other prices. But again, if you want a lightly played one, it's sitting at $9.98, or buy a near mint for $17.50. So definitely recommend getting this. And just like I said, the box is $775, and a lot of the signature cards are still relatively cheap. So we'll dive deeper in that later on on Wednesday. What are the most expensive cards in Dragon Ball Super, and are they worth getting in the beginning of this year before, who knows, it skyrockets again. So then we're going to talk about Height of Mastery Son Goku, another card that was sitting at relatively $50 to $60, now half off. Again, like I said, if you're looking into heavily played or lightly played, you're going to be looking at $26.99. Even a lightly played one is $49.99, but a near mint is $50. Again, so however much you want to save, again, it's up to you. If you're just trying to build a collection, then definitely go with the lightly played option. If you're trying to get them graded, then obviously take your chances with near mint as well to hopefully get that PSA or Beckett 10 or any grading service that's out there. And then we keep going, and we have SSB Gogeta Fusion Onslaught, another great card. I think this is one of my favorites. I just picked this up not too long ago as well. It was sitting at 47. Now it's, when I bought it, it was 24. So again, it just depends. Like, you got to look at the market or watch these super awesome Market Mondays. But again, $28, relatively the highest price it was before. It was $50 almost. So again, it goes back up, but then we got near mint sitting at 39, 30, 20. So I think it's relatively worth it. I think if you're just trying to build a collection, another booster box that's relatively expensive, if I'm not mistaken, Destroyer Kings is another box that's sitting anywhere between $500 to $700. And again, if you want to buy them single, I think you'll save a lot more money than buying a booster box and just taking your chance of pulling one. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on it. But again, these are some great cards to get because they're relatively cheap and they're very iconic. Like, we have the Supreme Showdown Son Goku from the World Martial Arts arc, and again, $13.98 or 98, and it was sitting at $22.88. So again, a lot of these cards are going down in price by significant amounts, and so if you're trying to save money and you're trying to get them now, this is the perfect opportunity. And again, some of these booster boxes are kind of expensive now, but they're not too expensive. But again, you could buy the ones you need and still save relatively in the wallet. So $82 for that booster box. And then we go on to Triple Flash SS4 Goku SPR Colossal Warfare, sitting at $14.98. And that's the cheapest. And again, we saw a decrease from $18 to $20. So it's a $5 decrease. And again, they're going down. I mean, you could probably give it another week, wait for the next Market Monday, and I could definitely show it again. But they're relatively cheap. And then we have Son Goku Dawn of Divinity, Malicious Machinations, set 8. And again, another card that was sitting at a relatively higher price. It was sitting at $18. Now nearly $20. Now 10. So you're saving a pretty penny on some of these cards. I recommend getting them if you haven't collected them. I just got this one as well. Some of these cards I didn't have that were like the one of I was missing, and I spent about $12, so I could have waited another week and I would have saved $2. But I don't know, it just depends. You take your losses when you can. And then we go to the next one, is SSB Gogeta Technique Unchained Vermilion Bloodline, another great card that was sitting at $18, $20, and now it's at $10.75. Again, guys, these are some cards that are relatively cheap, very iconic, look awesome, from the Broly movie, from Dragon Ball Super, everywhere. It's awesome. I think right now is the perfect time to buy. And if you're trying to get into the card game and you don't want to break the bank, I will show you guys where to start. And obviously the next card I want to mention is Demigrub Monetary Ally, sitting at $9. It was sitting at $1 like 2 days ago, or I mean a week ago. It was like $2. Now it slowly went up, and now it's at 10. And it got bought out because everyone's realizing Supreme Kaiba Time, I'm telling you guys, is a very monstrous deck. You guys are gonna get surprised how strong that really is. And so if you haven't done so, get these guys. And again, if a competitive player tops an event or wins the event with Supreme Kai time, you're gonna see this guy skyrocket to even 20 bucks. Watch. But there you guys have it. But let me go into I closed it. But again, if you're trying to save money and you're just trying to have the SPRs, honestly, from anywhere between set 10 and on, these SPRs are so cheap. I recommend getting them. They're dollars, even cents at a time. And I think what's amazing about Dragon Ball Super card game is that all the SPR artwork looks phenomenal, and you're not going to break the bank with some of these awesome special rare cards. So if you haven't done so, definitely check out the market. Look at eBay. Don't look at just TCG Player, because I also look at eBay myself, just for time purposes of the video. But you could save a lot of money. So there you guys have it. From your host, Tony G. Let me know in the comment section which SPRs or cards I might have missed, but stay tuned for Wednesday for the top 10 most expensive cards of 2023 of Dragon Ball Super card game. So stay tuned, hit that like button, subscribe so you can be aware of that video. And like always, from your host Tony G, y'all stay super.